I'm Sarah.
Hi there.
Arnold.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Gabriel.
And I'm Haley Halligan.
Okay, so do you guys want to start with the history about Habitat for Humanity?
Yep.
Yeah, that works well.
Okay, I said that it was started by the Fullers, Linda and Millard. I got it back in the early 1970s, and it just centered around the concept of building decent, affordable homes for those in need.
Yep. And that's kind of what I found too. And then going from there, as the years have gone on, it's expanded quite a bit. It's now global.
Yeah.
And so they've served over 1,400 communities just in the U.S. alone. And Habitat for Humanity is available in 70 other countries apart from the U.S. And they've also helped out 6.8 million, which is a crazy amount of people.
That was crazy. I guess I didn't read about the 70 countries. That was interesting.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's pretty much the statistics I got as well. I mean, I guess I was just surprised at how it started. I had no idea. I didn't know it was global. I had no idea.
No.
Yeah, I didn't know it was global.
Well, then that's the thing. Before doing the research, like I had heard about it just in the Des Moines area. So honestly, I didn't even think that it went out of Iowa. Back in high school when Cedar Rapids had completely flooded out, I think it was in the fall of that year. My high school got a big group of people that wanted to volunteer to go down and help, and it was through Habitat for Humanity. So like we went down there, and pretty much like every house that was it was like multiple neighborhoods, pretty much the entire area of the city were just like, we had to gut, I don't know how many houses, but it was so neat because the people that were living there were there helping out too. And it meant like the world to them that we were there volunteering our time. So it was really neat. But that's the only like experience I've had with them. But I was really excited when I found out we were going to be able to do it for our project, just to help out people in our own community too. So
Right.
Yeah, I haven't had any experience with it. So I've always wanted to, but it seems like, just other things have gotten in the way. So I'm kind of excited too.
Yeah. Yep. Do we want to, let's see, we can talk about, we did mention in our worksheet, just the demographics. I don't think it's not limited to any certain age, any certain ethnicity.
No, just anyone that would be in need, basically.
Yep. Let's see.
I guess it does say, what are the mission and core values? I didn't really necessarily find core values that they specifically talked about, but I guess you can just assume from reading that, it includes leadership, faithfulness, humanity, perseverance, teamwork, empathy, and hope. They did talk a lot about their mission and that it's a Christian-based organization, which was interesting. Again, I had no idea that it was like that.
Yep. And I did read, going through their history, they mentioned multiple times what their vision was for this organization, and it was mentioned everyone having a decent place to live. So that was mentioned multiple times.
I did see their 5 principles that they built it on, and I included that in this section for their values, basically. Did you guys see those on their website?
I did.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Yep, that's what I wrote down. So.
Okay. Do you want to talk about the 5 value stuff?
Yeah, so the first one was demonstrate the love for Jesus Christ. The second one was focus on shelter. The third one's advocate for affordable housing. And fourth one, promote dignity and hope. And then the fifth one is support sustainable and transformative development. So I thought it was cool, like the first one being demonstrate the love for Jesus Christ, because I didn't know that this was a Christian-based.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Yeah, so.
And I guess the objectives that I noticed were just to build homes, preserve current neighborhoods that are underserved, and then through all of this, just donate time, money, and materials and manpower to help facilitate the organization and allow it to keep moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it did say initially when it had first started, the people that started the foundation, it said that house payments were combined with a no interest loan, which was provided by the supporters, and then the money earned by fundraising was used to build more homes too, which was called the Fund for Humanity. So it's, I mean, and that's crazy to me to think about, that being a nonprofit and to see how many people they have helped and how many supporters that they do have. Really inspiring.
That is inspiring.
Mm-hmm.
Should we move on to programs and services?
Yep.
Yeah.
I just talked really about the 3 that he emailed us, but I don't know if you guys added more. I think that's what they focus on in our Des Moines area. I don't know if they do more like globally, but.
I just noted.
Yeah, I kind of had a hard time. Go ahead, Sarah.
Oh, sorry. I just noted from the website that, you know, elsewhere in the US and global, they just have some other projects that were more towards like just a group of women building the homes and veterans and youth programs. So not necessarily other ways what they're providing to the community, just the programs they have designed to help out, I guess, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I did see, and I've driven past it before actually in Des Moines. I don't know if you guys saw it. It's called the Habitat for Humanity Restore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is where they've got like anything you can need for a house that anybody can go into and buy the materials. So that was,
and it's at a better price, I think, like more, it's affordable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I guess I didn't realize either that, and this is kind of ties into one of the questions later, but that there's like long-term service that you can set up or do with them. That seems like they work with AmeriCorps and Disaster Corps, which is probably more of like your global and international stuff. Yeah. I didn't really dig into it too much since our focus was more local, but I had no idea that that existed.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it kind of reminded me a little bit too, on a different level though, I think. So like when I went and helped out when they had the floods, I think in any sort of disaster, kind of like the Red Cross, they're there. Like you just know that that's an available resource.
Yeah.
Like in a need of crisis, I guess. But let's see.
And we kind of already talked about people served.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I did notice that was kind of interesting, I don't know if you guys saw this, but where I was on the website checking out like the global countries that they serve, and you could actually click on the country and then it took you to a separate like page for them. And then it gave you stats just specifically for the towns and countries within that area or that region, I guess. And so it was saying like specifically how many places like in Australia they've helped, what programs they offer. So it's kind of neat.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's really neat. Yeah, I've got it pulled up right now. And the website, I mean, it was super easy to find information on the organization. I feel like it's really easily accessible too.
Yeah, for sure.
So Haley, when you were working with it in Cedar Rapids during the floods and stuff, did you, I guess I didn't find this anywhere, did they just help like the urban areas, or was it rural, or just anybody in need?
It was pretty much anybody in need. So we got there on, it would have been a Thursday night. And there was probably, I'd say like 100 of us that had gone down there, and it ranged from freshmen to seniors. And we all stayed at one of the local schools and got up Friday morning, and they pretty much had just a list of every house, any family that had reported that they were going to need help. And we were all in we got split up into smaller groups and pretty much just tackled one house at a time. We were there until, I think it was Sunday night. And I mean, obviously with 100 people, we didn't get to every house that was in need. But the great thing too was we weren't the only school that was going to be coming through.
Oh, that's nice.
They had more volunteers and, but I mean, you could definitely tell it made a difference with, I mean, like I said, it was heartbreaking to have the families be there and trying, like we had to gut these houses. Like we were taking down old wood that had just rotted from the floods, and like having them there and have to be working in their own home was really hard, but it was also neat, like I said, because they were just so relieved that they had people there that were there to support them, which I found, I don't know, it was really cool. And I mean, and kind of like you said, Sarah, it made me want to volunteer for more opportunities like that, but you know, we get busy and it's
right.
Trying to prioritize, like and I've said this before in some of my reflections for this class, I'm excited that we do get the opportunity to do this summer. I feel like we're able to make time for it, so.
Right. I guess I'm interested in seeing, you guys may know, but like how they choose the homes in the Des Moines area. Cause to me, I want to see, like, we don't have you know, there wasn't like a flood or anything. So is it just like a list of families that are in need of a home, or a list of families whose homes aren't suitable for living that we fix? Or, cause I know people work all the time.
Yeah, that's a really good question.
Yeah, and I kind of looked a little bit into that. On the website, it kind of has, it had a tab about how to apply for a new Habitat home, and it kind of had, I'm looking at it right now, it's got like how to qualify for one. It says Habitat homeowners must be active participants in building a better home and future for themselves and families. And pretty much like you said, Stephanie, it's for people that their homes are pretty much unlivable.
Yeah.
So let's see.
Or I wonder where they where do they get the resource of applying for it?
Right.
There's not, it says neither race nor religion is a factor.
Yeah.
So pretty much just anybody in need that, because I don't think Habitat for Humanity goes out specifically and like looks for these homes that need to be fixed up. It's the families kind of have to go, they have to take that step.
Right.
So.
And then we're doing the Rock the Block. So I'm picturing it as it being like a block of houses.
Yeah.
That's how
I'm interested in seeing how that's going to work out. I hadn't even heard of that before we had applied to volunteer for that area. So I'm excited to see exactly what we're going to be doing.
Me too.
And like what neighborhood we're going to be in, or, you know, what part of Des Moines.
So one thing,
that's the neat thing too. Oh, go ahead, Sarah.
Oh, sorry. So
no, you're
one thing that was kind of interesting, like when it was talking about other organizations that exist, like kind of doing the same thing, I didn't really find any. I don't know if you guys did, but most of the things I found were like ANOWIM. What was the other one? United Way, where they help out with like money, like assistance towards like payments, but not actually building a home. So I felt like Habitat was unique in that way, and just like they get to help. Yeah, they get to help build their own home. So it really kind of instills the value and pride in the owner too.
Yeah, because we see all the programs that like help with food or clothing and stuff like that, but there's not many that help building their house, you know. But are you talking about for other services and agencies?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah, I just put other service or other agencies just in the Des Moines area that serve the community, not in the same way, but they serve the same community. So I just put like the Yes program, DMARC Food Pantry, JAPA, Salvation Army, and just stuff like that.
Yeah, those are all really, really good ones.
Well, and that's the neat thing too, is like, I'm sure people that are either going through some sort of devastation or their house, just like we said, isn't up to standard, that like with Habitat for Humanity being unique in that way, they pretty much, I mean, it's not like they know who they can contact in order to help with that.
Yeah.
Which
Right.
I think is neat. So
for the needs and challenges of the community, I just talked about maybe like these home, I guess I don't understand, but I don't exactly know where the neighborhoods are that Habitat for Humanity helps in Des Moines, but I just talked about like food deserts and stuff like that might be another challenge. And
oh yeah,
I kind of talked about that too, and like affordable healthcare, like do they have transportation close by? You know, do they have the other needs besides the home?
Yeah, that's what I talked about too.
I guess we kind of talked about the other servicing agencies, so we could probably move on.
Yep. To our perceptions of it and why we chose Habitat.
So with working with Habitat before, I kind of had my own perception of what it's like and having that background on it. But I feel like with it being a nonprofit organization, like the people that are volunteering, they're volunteering for the good of the people in need. I don't think it's something like, what am I trying to say, where they're doing it for themselves.
Yeah.
Which is really neat. And then I guess, like I said, like with the Rock the Block, this is going to be something completely different. So kind of it's expanding on what I already know.
Yeah.
So
I just talked about always having an interest in wanting to volunteer at Habitat for Humanity. I always see like nationwide and big companies doing it. So I guess I wasn't aware that a group of 3 or even one person could sign up to spend a day at Habitat. So I think it's cool just now that I'm aware that you can just sign up as an individual and do it.
I guess I was kind of the same way as you, Steph. Like, I just hear of all these like big corporations and they kind of do it somewhat as a team building. So I feel like it's a mutual benefit for Habitat and for the team too. But I guess I always just have wanted to kind of do that and serve those. And I guess, you know, the healthcare aspect of it is, if these people don't have the proper housing, how are they going to take care of themselves? And eventually we're going to see them in the hospital and be taking care of them for things that possibly could be prevented, you know? So it kind of comes full circle, but I'm super excited to see what it's all about.
Yeah. Well, that's the neat thing too, having it be in the Des Moines area, and it kind of ties into like this week's concept with who's your neighbor. Like a lot of us, I mean, we have no idea what's going on at our neighbor's house, what's going on behind the doors.
Yeah.
And I mean, I feel like a lot of people can put on a really good act and you have no idea what's going on in their lives. So having it be so close to home, I think it's going to open up a whole new perspective, in my eyes, at least.
Yeah.
So. I agree.
Yep. And then the last one, describing our primary focus and what needs are we meeting. I mean, I just talked about our primary focus being building or revitalizing their home. Did you guys have anything different, or just helping those people in need?
Yep, and that's pretty much where I went with it too. and I guess with my primary focus, like, I feel like this is going to open doors for me to continue to volunteer, possibly with Habitat for Humanity, or seeking out other opportunities as well. That's kind of what I was thinking.
Mine were kind of the same too, you know, and it just overall it enhances like the whole community, you know, the longevity of the home for the person, reducing like homelessness, unkept properties, easing their financial burden. Like, you know, why wouldn't you feel good about doing that?
Yeah.
You know, for somebody that needs it. I mean, if I was in that situation, I guess I kind of always try to look at things that way. That, you know, if I was in their shoes, I would be like forever grateful and just so thankful. And so it's like, if I could just take a little time to give back, why not?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Okay, anything else?
Absolutely.
I feel like that kind of wraps it up.
I feel like too, it's like thing where if somebody who have to have your homework done, people are going to like those people, I feel like, are going to be enhanced in wanting to give back to the community after that too. So
right. That's a really good point, Haley.
So all right.
Okay, guys, I think we're probably kind of wrapped up, huh?
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
I think so. I think we covered
it. Have a good weekend. Have a good wedding.
Okay.
Have fun studying for mental health.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I'll see you guys this week.
Bye.
See ya.